Hey everybody, Zach from Primrose Productions Music here. Today I want to talk to you about something really important. I want to talk about where to put your money for music. And whether you're a musician or an engineer, we all love to spend money on new gear, and we're always chasing different sounds, and we think that, one specific piece of gear is going to do that for us. Like, if I have that gear, that's how I'll achieve that specific sound. And that isn't always the case. So I just wanted to talk to you about the most important thing to invest your money in terms of just everything you can buy in the musical world. So the answer is actually pretty simple. I'm just going to blurt it out right now, and then I'll go into some more detail. You want to invest the most of your money into the part that makes the actual sound. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean things like the instruments themselves and the speakers, okay? Now, obviously, every piece in your signal chain does affect the tone to some extent. There's always going to be some coloration from whatever piece of gear it is you're using, whether that's a microphone or an amplifier or a preamp. There's always going to be a little bit of sound change from any of those things. But the things that make the most change are the things that are actually creating the sound. So if we're talking about guitars, like the guitar itself or the bass itself, that's what's making the actual sound, is that instrument. So you want to make sure that your guitar or your bass sounds the best, it's in the best shape, it has new strings on it, it has good pickups in it, and it's in good working order. Same thing for drums, acoustic drums especially, obviously. Like, you need good sounding shells and good sounding cymbals. And it seems straightforward, but a lot of people don't think about that. I mean, for drums, they probably do, really. But for guitar and bass, you're usually thinking more about the amp that you want than you are necessarily about the guitar, because you probably have a guitar already and you think that that's good enough, but you don't have the amp that you want, so you're like, oh, that's what I need. When in reality, the amp you have is probably fine. You just, need a better instrument. Or, in that case, it might not be either the instrument or the amp, like the head itself. It might actually be the cab you're using. And that's the other spot that I think you should be investing the most money into, is the speakers. In either, if you're a guitarist or a bassist, you want a cab that has good speakers in it. If you're an engineer, either recording or mixing or mastering, you want good monitors, because those speakers are the thing that are actually making the sound. And yeah, if it doesn't sound right coming out of the speakers, or if you can't properly reference the sound coming out of the speakers, you're not going to be able to tweak the sound in the way it needs to. So yeah, honestly, I think speakers are probably one of the most important places to be investing your money. I'm actually going to show you an example of that right now. So I recently got a new guitar cabinet. It's an orange 4x12, has vintage 30 speakers in it, and it just, the second I plugged it in, my guitar tone sounded so much better. I'm going to show you a clip of a track that I had been working on, and the first version I'm going to show you is the tone that I had with my old cab. And then after that, I'll show you the clip with the new cab. So anyway, take a listen to that. Pay special attention to the guitar tone in this original take with the original cab that I used.
I don't know what I want, know what I need, but when I'm with you, feels like I think I'm supposed to. Don't know what you're doing, but I think it's what I need from you.
See, like, it's not a bad tone, but it could be better. It's a little bland, it's kind of muddy, it's just not where it needs to be. But when I plug the new cab in, I'll show you right now, it's night and day difference. So yeah, check out how it sounds with the new cab.
I don't know what I want, know what I need, but when I'm with you, should do it, but I think it's what I need from you.
See, that is so much better. It's brighter, it's more powerful. It gets in your face more. Now, I want to be very clear. The only thing that changed in that signal chain was the cabinet. I used the same amp on the same settings. I used the same microphone, the same preamp compressor into the same interface, and it was using the exact same pre-recorded DI guitar track, which is what I was sending out into the amp. The only thing that changed was the speaker cabinet itself. And I mean, obviously the mic position on the cabinet varies a little bit because it's a completely different cab. I had to completely re-mic it up. So obviously it's not the exact same mic position, but those are the only things that were changed. The mic position a little bit and the cabinet. And you can see complete difference in tone.
I wish I could hold you every day and every night. Wish that there was some way to show you the two of us alright. I have felt so lost, alone, and I'm so damn afraid. I had started thinking that I would never be safe, but when I'm with you, I can tell what you think of. I wish I could hold you every day and every night. Wish that there was some way to show you the two of us alright. I have felt so lost, alone, and I'm so damn afraid. I had started thinking that I would never be safe, but when I'm with you, I can tell what you think of me.
So that's what I'm getting at with this. You need to put your money into the things that are actually creating the sound. Okay? Amps matter for sure. I'm not going to pretend they don't, but they're not what actually makes the sound. The speakers are what is creating the sound, what is bringing the sound into the real world so you can actually hear it. So that's where you want to put money, is things like that. And again, your instrument is also extremely important to your tone. You want a good working instrument with properly set up, new strings on it, good pickups in it. Just make sure it's in good working order. And for drums, obviously drums get crazy expensive. I'm not saying you need to go drop a ton of money on a drum kit, but you should go spend as much as you can on a drum kit. You want the best sounding kit that you can get. The whole point I'm trying to drive home here is you want to spend the most money on the thing that creates the sound, whether that's the instrument or the speakers. So yeah, I feel like I'm kind of rambling and repeating myself a little bit there, but hopefully that example that I showed you there of the different cab is enough to get it into your head that this is actually very important, and those are the areas you don't want to skimp on. So take that into account when you're looking for your next gear. The next time you think, oh, I need this new piece of gear, think, is it actually going to help your sound that much? Is it something like that? Or is it just a different microphone or a different amp head or a different preamp? Because again, those things affect the tone, but not nearly as much as what's actually creating the sound in the real world. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you found it helpful. I'd love it if you could leave me a comment and tell me what your favorite guitar cab is and what kind of speakers are in it. Also, if you are in a band and you're trying to get farther, faster, and you're not really sure what steps to take, I would like to invite you to check out my free guide. I call it Your Rise to Stardom. It's a free PDF download. Just go to primroseproductions.com/guide and you can download it there. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.